Om Agnimihile Purohitam Yajnasya Devam Ritvijam Hotaharam Ratnadhatamam Agniv Purve Bhirshibhiridio Nutanayruta Sadevam Meha Vakshati Agnina Arayamashnavat Poshameva Dive Dive Yashasam Virabhattamam Agneyam Yajnam Dvaram Vishvataf Paribhurasi Saideveshu Gacchati Agnirhota Kavikratu Satyashchitrashravastamaha Devo Deve Bhiragamat.
On the other side of the eternal stairs, the mighty kingdoms of the deathless flame aspired to reach the being's absolutes. Out of the sorrow and darkness of the world, out of the depths where life and thought are tombed, lonely mounts up to heaven the deathless flame. In a veiled nature's hallowed secrecies, it burns forever on the altar mind, its priests the souls of dedicated gods, humanity its house of sacrifice. Once kindled, never can its flaming cease. If fire along the mystic paths of earth, it rises through the mortal's hemisphere, till borne by runners of the day and dusk, it enters the occult eternal light and clambers whitening to the invisible throne.
In the silence of the heart burns the lamp that can never be extinguished, the fire of an ardent aspiration to know and to live integrally the divine. Aspiration is like an arrow. It rises straight up, very strong, and then it strikes against a kind of a lid, which is there, hard like iron and extremely thick, and it does not pass through. And your aspiration is a drop of water which, instead of falling, rises. And when it makes the hole, suddenly it springs up out of this lid and enters an immensity of light. It is truly like a great purifying flame of will, and it carries in its core the thing that asks to be realized. In aspiration, there is an unselfish flame which is not present in desire. From the purely psychological point of view, aspiration is a self-giving, while desire is always something which one draws to oneself. Aspiration is a thing to be developed, educated, like all activities of the being. One may be born with a very slight aspiration and developed it so much that it becomes very great. It is precisely upon this that Sri Aurobindo has insisted. He says you must choose, and the choice is constantly put before you, and constantly you must choose. And if you do not choose, well, you will not be able to advance. You must choose. There is no force like that which chooses for you, or chance, or luck, or fate. This is not true. Your will is free. It is deliberately left free, and you have to choose. It is you who decide whether to seek the light or not, whether to be the servitor of the truth or not. It is you. Or whether to have an aspiration or not. It is you who choose. What is necessary is an aspiration which burns in the being like a constant fire. And every time you have a desire, a preference, an attraction, it must be thrown into this fire. If you do this persistently, you will see that a little gleam of true consciousness begins to dawn in your ordinary consciousness. At first, it will be faint, very far behind all the din of desires, preferences, attractions, likings. But you must go behind all this and find the true consciousness, all calm, tranquil, almost silent.
Aspiration is to call the higher forces. When the forces have answered, there is a natural state of quiet receptivity. But the clarities of the higher illumination cannot be kept so long as there is not this strength of the flame of aspiration to guard them. For hostile powers snatch them away and conceal them again in their secret cavern. Aspiration is the divine will being manifested in man. Itself liberated liberates him from the cords which bind him as a victim in the world sacrifice, and destroys the powers of falsehood, whose limitations cannot ham in its growth and its outflaming. It brings the divine waters from the luminous heaven, the divine wealth liberated from the attacks of the enemy, and gives the final peace and perfection.